This was the meeting that was organized by John Meacham of Newsweek, where they were just, asked questions like, "Do you experience the Holy Spirit?" And Hillary Clinton was led to say in that context that the tear she shed in a New Hampshire diner was evidence of the Holy Spirit. And received no opposition from anybody. This was just, like, what kind of epistemology do we have where Hillary Clinton can get away with that? So that's the situation we're in. It's a complete vacuum of critical intelligence when the conversation turns to God talk. Yeah.
Right. I'd like to ask a question about a place where there ought to be a presence of critical reason, which is Christian apologetics. So there's a long Catholic tradition and a shorter Protestant tradition of Christian apologetics, and I'm wondering what your views are on that, and I assume you think that they've gone badly awry, and how did they manage to do it when supposedly they were using reason to underpin their faith?
Well, the problem is just, are you going to hold certain claims off the table when you start playing the reason game? And it seems to me that most Christians, many very smart, intellectually sophisticated Christians, from Aquinas on down, can play a language game that is certainly attempts to be self-consistent and has all of the features of rational discourse that we admire, but it's in the context of, we're going to take as axiomatic the fact that the Bible was the sacred word of the creator of the universe. So how do we square the evidence of paleontology and all the rest with the fact that the Bible is the Word of God and Jesus is His Son and rose from the dead on the third day? That's the game that most Christians are playing. The Bible is never put in play. We never see Christians looking. I mean, we don't see this because they tend to cease to be Christians if they actually do this. We never see them looking at the fossil record and at the wealth of evidence of for evolution coming from molecular biology and the distribution of animals across the Earth's surface. They never look at those facts and then come back to the Bible and say, well, what's given that this is the way the world is? What's the likelihood that an omniscient being described it this way? Then the Bible just falls apart. The Bible is not even close to being something that we should admire as a kind of a manual for existence in this place, and so too with morality. I mean, given what we now expect of our fellow human beings, gender equality and repudiation of slavery, and now that we have people like John Rawls and Thomas Nagel and Derek Parfit really thinking clearly about ethical problems, and not that they all agree, but now that we know what it's like to really parse ethical issues, now let's look at the Bible and see. Let's look at Leviticus and see just what God was up to. It's an embarrassment. It's just how could you do it with a straight face? It's not like there was nothing good in there, but things have gotten so much better, so it's what you keep off the table, and it's useful to point out that Muslims are able to do their reason game, and it's nullifying of Christianity. I mean, they have their whole story about why Jesus could not be the Son of God. That's right there. That's those are mutually incompatible worldviews, and they're playing the same game.